Good job out of Schefter for deducing that this is either going to be Scheelhaase or Schwarz.
We've had a lot of people sound like I'm just not. I don't want to say idiots and make it sound mean, but Diana Rossini in one of her tweets today was like, "Well, if it's going to be Scheelhaase, the big question that remains is, will Jim Schwartz stay on?" Oh, really splitting the atom there, Diana. What are we doing?
Listen, guys.
I know we're in the bubble. I know we're in the bubble.
What are we doing?
This is all we talk about. I get it. So it's very obvious to us. And for people that are in New York or Boston, that might be a groundbreaking thought. But it's a lot of that type of thoughts that are going out there right now.
Coming into today, I thought to myself, they could hire Udinski. They could also go with Scheelhaase, but don't sleep on Jim Schwartz.
Yeah, I heard people say your sources on Twitter were already wrong.
I thought that was
because it was an obvious joke. The whole thing was an obvious joke, but then
I will tell you what joke.
Your source saying Udinski, and it wasn't Udinski.
What that joke entails tells me that while there are a lot of really smart people on social media, there really are. I've not given up to the fact that eventually social media won't just be a complete net negative for all of us in society, but there are more smart people than realize. But the dumbest sect on Twitter has never been louder.
I just think people don't understand how to do jokes on Twitter.
But yeah,
or understand sarcasm in any way. That's kind of one of my beefs with the whole thing is that I'm a pretty sarcastic human, and there's just people out there that just don't detect any of it.
Yeah, Lenny on Twitter. Well, your source is a poor one because he just withdrew his name. Got me there, Lenny.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's like, what are we talking about?
John.
It was a joke. For the first part of it was a joke.
John, this tweet didn't age well.
It's like, again.
Oh, man. I was worried about that.
Now, flip side of that, those two people that are tweeting at you really believe you got boots on the ground. They really believe that was you got boots on the ground, you're sourcing things, you're calling things, which is another product of this, by the way, this like 2.5 weeks of coaching interviews and going through this process. The amount of people that all of a sudden are like, oh, I talked to a guy. I talked to a guy over here, and this guy says this, and this guy says it's gotten out of hand. People that never break news are now all of a sudden the Adam Schefters of this city, and it's amazing to me.
I just think
let's leave it to the people that do it.
So listen, I think obviously all the signs point to legitimately it's Scheelhaase, right? And I think there's a lot of smoke here. All I'm going to say is at this point, I think the Browns have done a good enough job of not really leaking out too much of their own what they like and what they don't like in this process. So I'm kind of just going to go along for the ride. Like today, all right, it makes sense. Udinski's not there. It would make sense that maybe Scheelhaase, given that he's the last second-round interview candidate, given the fact that, I don't know, everybody else that isn't Munkin or Schwartz is pulled out of this job, it would make sense that it is Scheelhaase. I'm just not going to lose a lot of sleep over it.
Well, the Browns also don't do what makes sense often. And so, just like last week, and everyone gets Udinski now, and I'm like, just because of that, I now think it might be Scheelhaase because Andrew Berry likes to go against the grain. As more and more people zero in on Scheelhaase, I'm almost like, shoot, is it going to be Schwartz the entire time? Just because he just loves to be a wild card. Mm-hmm. He's a complete and utter wild card in all of this, and I don't think anybody truly knows what's going on inside his head. Now, yes, it seems like it's Scheelhaase. Yes, it does. But we've been in a lot of spots before where it seems like, and then with the Browns, it doesn't materialize.
So it's funny. I've seen people kind of do the quick pivot to, maybe I slept on Scheelhaase this whole time, but let me tell you what I like about him. The flaw with a Scheelhaase hire, because I'll tell you, I'm not gonna if they hire him, I'm not gonna go on a big thing if it's a mistake.
No.
Nobody knows.
We got to give it a chance.
But I do think you have to point out the potential concerns for it. And so I think the flaw with Scheelhaase is the same with Udinski. Like, one guy was a glorified quarterbacks coach. A passing game coordinator is effectively some iteration of a quarterbacks coach or a half-ass game planner. It doesn't mean he was a play caller. It doesn't mean he was doing all this schematic stuff himself. And he's only been in the NFL for 2 years. And I really do think that, when you get to some of the guys who quickly jump from the NFL to the pros, there's an acclimation period. Like when Joe Brady went from being the passing game coordinator for the LSU to being the play caller, primary play caller in Carolina. Yeah, guys, he wasn't ready.
That's probably
by a wide margin.
That's probably the best comp we have, by the way. And him at LSU, people thought he was the greatest play caller to ever exist. And it's like, well, really, in reality, you had Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
You had Jamar Chase. You had all sorts of great players. And so, like, how much of that was really Joe Brady? You fast forward years later, and it's like, nah, that didn't really work. It's a great comp. But, like, the idea here is that it feels like it's going to be a very boom or bust type hire. And with Andrew Berry, this is probably going to be the only chance he really gets to take a swing to try to get a head coach. I don't hate the boom side of it, but there is a bust component to this as well.
And I think that would be something that I look at and go, I don't know you need to go there. And again, like the closer to McVay, the better, because unlike Bill Belichick, a fair amount of his assistants have been able to go right into jobs and turn into something. Kevin O'Connell, obviously being the guy that I think of most, but Zach Taylor's another guy.
Zach Taylor before.
Zach Taylor, before he went to L.A., was DOA. I think it was Miami where he had busted out. I can't remember who was the head coach. It wasn't Flores. It was before him. Like, Zach Taylor's career was a little bit dead in the water until Sean McVay came along and kind of jump-started his career. So, like, we like going from that tree. But the youth thing, I don't care that he's 35. It's a lack of NFL experience 2 years in that I don't know you need to do. And that's the best way I'd put it. It doesn't mean it won't work out. It doesn't mean it's a bad hire. The right people like him, and that tends to be a good thing in the NFL, although it's certainly not flawless. Well, I mean, you're going to have to be patient with him.
I think safe existed. I do. I think safe existed. Schwarz is safe. Safe still exists within the construct.
I don't think Schwarz is safe.
We're talking about. Well, I
think McDaniel was safe. I think McCarthy was safe.
McCarthy's the one I first signaled in my head. I don't even know that McDaniel wasn't that safe. But like, he's going for the boom or the bust, and this is all about the idea that if you've ever gotten Sean McVay coffee, you end up with a job, and so it's down that line, that same line of thinking. Which, by the way, the Rams. They might end up losing him, and then they might end up losing the other before because he's interviewing for the Cardinals job again today.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
The amount of people that are like genuinely furious to me that Shador made a Pro Bowl only make Shador making a Pro Bowl funnier to me.
I'm going to watch now. And I think that was the point, by the way. I think between the fan vote and then the coaches and the players vote, I think that was the whole point.
Are you saying it's a TV contest and not a real football game? Because it's not a real football game anymore?
And the people that can't see that, I can't help you. I'm sorry. I can't help you in life if you can't understand that.
By the way, the people who said Pro Bowl doesn't matter anymore. It's like, where have you been for the last 20 years?
I know, but I
don't know when the Pro Bowl last mattered.
But they do always get good ratings. That's the thing about the Pro Bowl. They always get like 7, 8, 9 million viewers. An astonishingly large number of viewers always turn out.
All right, we got to it on the 92.3 The Fan YouTube chat. You can vote right now. Who would you prefer to be the Browns' next head coach, Nate Scheelhaase or Jim Schwartz? Early voting. It's early. 60-40. Nate Scheelhaase. If we had done this exact same poll on Friday, Schwartz is winning by a landslide, right?
I don't know that. I
don't normalized Scheelhaase that quickly?
Well, again, people want to be right. That's one part of it, right? But also the idea that I think people just locked in. Young, offensive-minded coach. That's what they want.
So it could have been anyone.
This basically is anyone.
So
Udinski and Scheelhaase basically are anyone. When it was announced that he was going to have an interview, the guy on the radio, this station, called him Scheelhaase. It basically is anybody.
So we could, it could be...
Hey, he's a make-a-character.
It could be the tight ends coach from San Francisco who's 26.
Great. That's all people
and has
care.
never felt the warmth of a woman before.
Yeah,
and that's... But
why does he never have to feel the warmth of a woman? What does that have to do with the job?
He's just watching tape. He's just watching too much tape.
I actually prefer that out of him, if we're being honest. This is
you prefer virgins?
Not that. That he's so engrossed in the tape that he doesn't even have time for women.
Yeah, it's like...
he's just repulsed by women.
I keep getting my DMs, and
he's just like, no, I don't. I just want to watch tape.
They just won't tell me what they think of Spider 2 White Banana.
People are like, oh, it's so unhealthy. Like, people lost their mind over that Mike McDonald clip where he's talking about seeing his kid for like 20 minutes a week. And it's like, listen, that's very unhealthy. Yeah, I get it. But also, that's what I want in my head coach. Mainly because it's not my life. I want my coach to be a psycho. I want him to be so committed to football that he just completely ignores every other aspect of life.
I would like a little bit of perspective from my coach. I'll be one of those people.
Don't need it. Be one of those people that's just awesome at coaching football, and that's their whole goal and their whole directive. That's all I need.